Good afternoon. My name is William Reeves, but I go by Will. I am currently a senior at Douglas County West High School, and I'm from Valley, Nebraska. I'm 17 years old and the youngest of 3 children. My oldest sister is a registered nurse in Kansas City, where she also graduated from Rockhurst University. She was able to attend this school by earning several academic and leadership scholarships, which helped her in affording her tuition. My other sister, Kaylin, is a junior at Wayne State College, playing soccer and majoring in communications. She was able to earn a full tuition scholarship as a soccer player at the college, which has allowed her to afford the opportunity of a college education. So now it's just me at home with my parents. My mom, Kristen, has been working in education as a school counselor for almost 30 years, this being her first year in elementary education at DC West Elementary School. My dad has been a salesman his entire career. He works for Omaha Truck Center companies selling semi-trucks. I'm very proud of the family that I have, and I'm grateful to have such great role models to look up to. They're the ones who inspire me to have my own dreams and aspirations. I would like to thank you for inviting me to apply for the Walter Scott Scholarship. I am honored to share some of my life experiences with you today as I look ahead to the future and plan for my higher education. Of course, growing up, I changed my mind often about what I wanted to be when I grew up. Just like any kid, I was positive I would be a professional baseball player or an astronaut, or sometimes I even wanted to say that I wanted to be a fire truck. Yes, not a fireman, but a fire truck. That was when I was really little. As I've grown up and started learning more and seeking out information on other careers, I've started to find the right direction for me. As I have started to understand myself more, realize what matters to me, and how I have wanted to make a difference in the work that I do, I've decided that engineering is the right field. I've always been good at math, even when I was really little. My mom would sometimes quiz me when I was in the grocery store in the cart, and sometimes people would come around commenting on how they thought it was too hard of a math problem for someone my age to be doing. And at DC West, I have always had amazing math and science teachers who continually urge me to pursue the field of engineering. I have been impressed with the engineering program at UNO and hope to call it my school, and one day my alma mater. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I appreciate your consideration for me in this scholarship. For the first question, it asks me to describe a time I was an effective leader. Here at DC West, I play football and baseball, and I am also on the trap shooting team. I've played sports for as long as I can remember, and I truly value everything that being a member of a team has to offer. As I've grown up, I've learned that every person from the dugout to the starters on the field has an important role to play. I've also learned that the role we each play doesn't necessarily even have an impact whether we win or lose, but mostly how we can come together as a team. In the past, my school, DC West, has not been very successful in sports, especially in baseball. In the 3 seasons prior to last year, our school had a combined 7 wins. Last season, we knew it would probably be our best season in a while, having a few seniors and multiple juniors who were going to be key factors in having success. I pitched the majority of our innings during the season, and when I was not pitching, I was catching. I helped lead the team to a 15-win season, which was 5 more than the previous record set in 2017. In the district final, I pitched 8 innings on 90 pitches, allowing 1 earned run to send us to state. This was the second time in school history that we had made it to state in baseball. Although we were not very successful in the state tournament, it was a very good experience for my teammates and I really think it was very good for the school and community that we were able to be as successful as we were. All the success comes down to our coaching and our leaders on the team, which I believe I was one of. Being able to go to state made a good impact because outside of the team, there were kids that may have wanted to play baseball and get better at baseball in the community. It also just brings more and more attention to our school, which is a great thing. It seemed like the better we were and the more we had our community behind us watching our games and rooting us on. Another way I believe I have been a leader is on the football field. Football can be a challenging sport, and in the heat of summer and the challenges of long practices and tough games, I've kept a positive attitude and encouraged my teammates to do the same. We had our most successful year in school history this year. And during my ninth grade year, the DC West team was 1-7. This year, partially due to leadership that I and my senior teammates demonstrated, we were 7-2 in the regular season, making the playoffs for the first time in 16 years. For the second question, it asks to tell about a time that I faced a significant challenge and it didn't go according to plan. In my sister's sophomore year of high school, which was in 2018, she was diagnosed with multiple mental illnesses. This has been a challenge since then because daily life has been very disrupted many times. Through her hospitalizations, therapy, and daily personal struggles, I have tried to be a support for her. I have been a voice of reason for her, helped to calm her down when she was facing really strong emotions, and have loved her through it all, even when there were times that it was really difficult. Having a sister with significant health struggles has made me more in tune with the needs of those around me. I believe that I am a good, confident caretaker and leader because I have a level of compassion and empathy that many of my peers my age do not. My sister is doing very well right now. She is properly medicated and living independently while going to college, but when she has setbacks, I am always there to love her and support her. My sister's health struggles have at times placed some economic challenges for our family too. There were things we didn't always get to do and things we didn't always get to have because of the medical expenses, but our entire family has prioritized her health over everything, and I am proud that we have all rallied together to support her. The third question asks about in the Scott Scholars program, they look for students who can work in interdisciplinary teams to solve the most pressing challenges facing humanity and to describe a time I have positively impacted the community. Around 5 years ago, my mom lost a dear friend. Her name was Susie Klosterman, and she was also a great mentor to me and my mom. She was in education for 50 years as a school counselor and a teacher in OPS, and after retirement in the Catholic school system. She was a true inspiration to everyone she came across. I learned a lot from her about food insecurity, limited access to resources, and the overall struggles that impoverished people face in their everyday lives. I became especially interested in the cycle of poverty and understanding all the moving parts that can affect people's lives. There's a food pantry built in honor of Mrs. Klosterman, and when the pandemic began shortly after her passing, my family and I became dedicated to honoring her memory by working on the pantry and keeping it stocked and accessible for those who benefit from it. One aspect of the pantry that has been important to me to maintain is the anonymity for those who access it. Mrs. Klosterman valued above everything respecting human dignity. I have also made it my mission to assume these values. I've collected donations from friends, family, teammates, and classmates to take to the pantry and keep it full. For the fourth question, it asks how I plan to make a transformative contribution to society. I'm not sure yet which field of engineering I will land on yet, likely construction or civil engineering, but I know that whatever it is, I will continue to support struggling populations of people, making necessities affordable, access to transportation and systems that are useful and reasonable for all people, using the resources we are given wisely, seeing the big picture when it comes to urban development so we are all included, valuing the work of practices of all people. All those things are important to me. One thing that the Scott Scholars Program does that I have not learned about and would like to get a better understanding of is renewable or green energy. I have never learned about it in school, but I have done some research and looked at the impact and contributions renewable energy can make. The fifth question asks what was the most important thing that I have learned in high school. I learned lessons through sport and activity participation and through challenging myself by taking a heavy course load. But I really think the most important lesson I learned during my high school years is that what you are looking for and what you need is out there if you never give up on finding it. I started my high school years at Scott Catholic in Omaha, which is also where my mom worked for 25 years. It was a fine school and there were plenty of activities to be a part of and academics to challenge me, but the environment was just not right for me. I struggled to find the peers who had really common interests as me and found myself being more isolated than I really wanted to be. My parents were supportive of me in finding what I needed, so I made a visit during my first semester of sophomore year to DC West High School in Valley. Transferring to DC West was the best decision I have ever made. At DC West, I felt immediately part of the community. The kids I met had similar interests as me, especially outdoor activities like fishing and trap shooting. I was able to get connected with people who were interested in construction and woods. I had access to shop classes where I had learned welding and hardworking. I got connected with a plumber who has connections to the school and had worked for his company since the summer after my sophomore year. I am proud of all that I have learned from these people and opportunities I did not have at my previous school, and am thankful to have learned that you can start over and find what you are looking for. This is the most valuable lesson that I have learned in high school, and I know that it was one that I will take with me into my college years and adult life. Thank you so much for the opportunity to apply for the Walter Scott Scholarship. I appreciate the time you took to watch this video, and I look forward to hearing from you about the next step in the process.